Now in this tutorial, we're going to be talking about the surface area and volume of similar objects. So let's go ahead and get started with this example. Here we have these two rectangular prisms, and they are in 3D shape. Let's start with the ratio of side length. To find this, we can use any pair of corresponding lengths, any corresponding sides. We can use these two, or you can use these other two, 7.5 and 3, for example. I'm going to use the easiest one, and that is a 2 and 5. So with a 2 to 5 ratio, we have these two lengths, 2 centimeter and 5 centimeter. And the scale factor in such case is 5 over 2, which is 2.5. Scale factor K is equal to 2.5. Now we are not done yet. In this tutorial, we're going to be looking for the surface area of the smaller prism and the larger prism. To start off with the smaller one, the surface area is basically equivalent to 2 times 3, which is these two right here, multiplied by each other, all multiplied by 2. Also, in addition to that, you have these two sides. You have 2 into 3 times 5. Plus, we are not done yet, you finally have this final face. And in such case, that would be 2 into 2 times 5. And so, adding these all up, we would get a 62. And so in such case, 62 is the surface area of the smaller prism. Now I'm going to do the same exact thing for the larger prism. In such case, we would be working on every face. Starting off with the top face, you have the both 5 times 7.5 all multiplied by 2. In addition to that, moving on to the second face, which is on this side right here, we would be working with 7.5 and 12.5. So 2 into 7.5 multiplied by 12.5. In addition to the final face, which is the front face, and that has dimensions of 5 and 12.5. So 2 into 5 times 12.5, and that, with a final answer, would be 387.5. Now we are not done yet. We have found the surface area of both prisms. Now let's go ahead and find the ratio. The ratio with a 62 to 387.5 ratio. Now that is not in its simplest form. Actually, in its simplest form, this would be divided by 15.5 equal to 4 into 25. Now taking a closer look, that's actually 2 squared into 5 squared. So that is the square of the ratio of side length. We have squared it to obtain the ratio of area. Now let's look for the volume. Working on with the volume for the first prism, it is 2 times 3 times 5, and that is 30. Now the volume of the larger prism, that would be 5 times 7.5 times 12.5, which is 468.75. Now, looking at the ratios, a 30 to 468.75 ratio, but that is not in its simplest form. In its simplest form, this is actually equivalent to, after dividing by 3.75, it would be equivalent to 8 into 125, which is actually 2 cubed into 5 cubed. Now taking a closer look at the relation between the ratio of side length, ratio of surface areas, and the ratio of volumes, you would see this relation. For two similar objects, if side length ratio is A to B, then surface area ratio is A squared to B squared, and the volume ratio is A cubed to B cubed. Now this is the relation that we needed to conclude after this tutorial.